Lake Town Hall burning to the ground. The entire town has been evacuated as an inferno rages through. There are no reported injuries, but witnesses say the scene is nothing short of chaos. Good evening. A state of disbelief has gripped a northern Alberta town as residents watch their homes and livelihoods go up in flames. Thousands have fled the area. The only people still in town are part of the rescue effort. Our Sean Amato is one of those people ordered to leave. He filed this report just before heading to safety.
What you're seeing behind me is the destruction of the town of Slave Lake. A good portion of the town has already been burned to the ground. That includes the town hall, the high school, the library, the main mall in the middle of Slave Lake is also on fire at this time. Now you can see those large flames there. That is a neighborhood. There are dozens, hundreds, maybe even thousands of people who call that home. It is now completely destructed. You can also see that there are very few fire emergency crews working here on the scene. There were bombers, air bombers in the air earlier today. There are no longer any air bombers. In the center of the town, there is very little in terms of emergency crews. Basically, what they're focusing on at this point is evacuating the town. They're forcing everybody to leave Slave Lake to head towards Edmonton on this highway. Now, the western portion of Slave Lake, the southwestern portion of Slave Lake is still intact. That includes the major shopping center with the Walmart. The Sawridge Hotel is still intact at this point. The Northern Lakes College is also still intact at this point. Now, as you can see, there are no water bombers. It looks like there are very few emergency crews actually working on stopping the fire. The focus right now is to get everyone out safe. Now, we do know that the hospital is also in danger of being burned down. We don't know if it has at this point. A temporary hospital has been set up at a local hotel, but what we're told at this point is that the entire town is going to have to leave. It's being evacuated. The one good thing that we do know here so far, emergency crews are telling us that no one has been injured, and that's very good news in what is turning out to be an absolute terrible night. A historic night and one of the most awful nights, most definitely in the history of this town, and quite possibly one of the biggest natural disasters we've seen in Alberta's history. Reporting from Slave Lake, Sean Amato, CTV News.
As we reported earlier, a full evacuation of the town is now complete, but residents in Slave Lake have been describing a scene of utter chaos all evening, many trying to cope with the emotion of watching their hometown burn to the ground.
It's horrible. Houses are, and it's just going to spread because the houses are 10 feet apart.
Are you worried about your house?
Our house is out of town, and I don't know if it's gone yet or not, but I was at my son's house they just bought. They just got possession. They're in the city, so thank God they're safe.
I feel bad for everybody. I'm not the only one, really. Quite a few people probably lost their houses and everything else for that matter. So. You know?
I went driving, you couldn't see nothing. It's just everything was under smoke, and very hard to drive in there. And then try to get into a back street, and like you can't. Like the flames were just shooting out as you're driving.
CTV News has learned that a portion of Slave Lake south of the highway may remain untouched by flames as the winds begin to die down. Now, CTV News reached the mayor of Slave Lake just a few moments ago. She is urging anyone who may have been left behind to get out of town as soon as possible.
We are asking people who are able to travel and have the fuel to get to Athabasca to leave the community. If they do not have transportation or fuel, we're asking them to come down to the Northern Lakes College and register with us.
Meantime, anyone looking for family or friends in the area can contact this number for more information, 780-523-3388. Evacuees already out of town are being accepted at the Gordon Buchanan Recreation Center in High Prairie. The Red Cross is also putting people up in West Block. According to Sustainable Resource Development, there are 113 active wildfires throughout the province tonight. 37 of them are deemed out of control. Evacuation orders are in effect for the following areas: Boone Lake, Red Earth, Little Buffalo, Martin Lake, Chisholm, and of course, Slave Lake. At least 1,000 workers have also been evacuated due to multiple fires north of Fort McMurray. Meantime, fires have halted cleanup operations at a massive oil spill site in Alberta's Peace Country. Crews have been working to clear out 28,000 barrels of oil following the rupture of the Rainbow Pipeline 2 weeks ago. Those efforts were put on hold at 11 o'clock this morning when workers were evacuated because of flames are now singeing around 15,000 hectares of land. No word yet on when the cleanup will continue. Of course, winds are being blamed in large part for the rash of blazes. Elsewhere, the powerful gusts proved fatal at a work site. It happened near Edson off Highway 16 yesterday. A male worker in his 50s was riding a quad when it's believed strong winds knocked over a tree and struck him. Occupational health and safety officers are investigating. The victim worked for a Calgary-based company. There is no sign winds will... For 5 straight days, the capital region has been hammered with gusts over 60 kilometers an hour, making it difficult to do just about anything outside. Kevin Armstrong has this side of the story.
This football camp was set up to test the best fans and players.
Terrible. It's really hard to throw and stuff.
But they had another test at it today.